my name is Ashutosh Deshpande. I work as a principal product developer in Remedy platform team, and today I'm going to talk about Zero Downtime Platform Upgrade as part of Connect with Remedy webinar series. So I'm going to cover what is Zero Downtime Upgrade exactly. You may or may not have heard it before. What are benefits of ZDT Upgrade? What is the actual process that you need to follow to get a Zero Downtime Upgrade successfully? And what is new in 9.1 SP4? I'm going to cover this part in bits and pieces as I go along with the different slides. And finally, some references for you to check out for getting more help and tips and tricks. So what exactly is a zero downtime upgrade? So before I jump into details of what exactly is ZDT, I want to just talk about the upgrade process that we have today. So there are two ways by which people can perform upgrade today. One is take a downtime in production, bring down your server group, entire server group, including mid-tiers. Then you perform an upgrade one by one using the regular installers that BMC provides. And then once your upgrade is successful, you can bring them back up and then start accepting your end user traffic again. So in this, which is an in-place upgrade way of upgrade, you still need a lot of downtime in the production, and the bigger the server group that you have, the bigger downtime you may need. The second way of performing an upgrade today, and which is what many of our customers follow, is by using a staging-based environment. So a staging environment-based upgrade is where you create a clone of your production system. So if you have 10 server groups, you have 5 mid-tiers, you have a database, you basically create a clone of exactly that on as powerful machines as production and call it a staging environment. Now you perform upgrade in your staging environment. You do get chances to correct any issues that you may find, fix those issues at your leisure, but at the same time, remember your production is still running and creating data. So while you are upgrading your staging, you also keep on migrating that data in a data migration way, which is basically a DDM. So you keep on doing that into your staging environment. And once your staging is ready, all customizations also preserved, all upgrades done, and your data is also available, at one point in time when you are ready to go into the production, you take downtime in production, stop all your production environments, switch IPs, switch your network changes, load balancer settings, and so on. That will allow you to now start pointing to the staging environment instead of the old production. And once you're ready, you bring up everything back and start calling your staging as a production. So in both these cases, you still need some downtime. What if you can actually do a in-place upgrade, which is in production, without taking any downtime? And that's exactly what this zero downtime upgrade is. So in this case, you are actually going to leverage the failover functionality, which is provided for all the components, all the functionality of Remedy. And leveraging that functionality, you will basically perform upgrade of one server at a time so that all other servers will continue to seamlessly work for your end users. Since this is an in-place upgrade, there is no copy of the database, or there is no replication of the data. There is no data migration. You don't need extra environments like staging environments. So all that is advantage of an in-place upgrade. Since zero downtime upgrade will support existing servers working with servers being upgraded, your end user functionality is not affected. End users still can continue to access applications. They can still create entries. They can create incidents, problems, changes, any custom application that you may have. It will all still continue. Your admin users may be restricted for some time. There may be a limitation. For example, we don't want them to create metadata changes or making some big configuration changes, which may affect the upgrades in a bad way. As of now, zero downtime upgrade is supported only for platform components, which is your mid-tier, AR server, Atrium CMDB, and Atrium Integration Server or AI. Mid-tier, as you know, is an independent client, so it works with a different set of AR servers. But your AR, Atrium, and Atrium Integration Server, they are all part of the platform and they have some tight coupling and dependency on the versions. So at any point in time, we would always like AR, Atrium, and AI to be at the same version, except for when they are being upgraded. Remember, zero downtime upgrade is supported only for platform. It is not supported for ITSM applications. There is also a process of reconciliation, as you may be aware. And what we mean by reconciliation is, since Remedy provides you way to customize your applications, there may be customizations that already exist in production. After upgrades, even though we do not wipe out those customizations, because BMC will always write into the base mode and your customizations will be retained, you may still want to perform some reconciliation to take advantage of any new changes, any new workflows that BMC may have brought in, and you may want to use them. So reconciliation will help you do that. So now, since you cannot do this in production, we do not want you to do it in production. We would like you to do it in dev or QA. So we would expect you to perform an upgrade in your dev or a QA environment before, perform reconciliation, and then once your reconciliations are done, you're happy with testing them in dev and QA, you can just create a package out of it. And that package could be a simple export of your customizations, or it could be a D2P or a dev to production kind of a package, which you could have created with a deployment management console. We will be using this reconciled package subsequently when the production is upgraded. How we are able to do it is by means of backward compatibility. So any DB changes that we have made since version 9.0, we have always made sure they are all backward compatible. So there is no impact to the end user experience. So even if we do make a change to the database during an upgrade, it is something like adding a new column. Or even if a form is getting imported, there is never a case where we are deleting a column, or there is never a case where we are reducing size of a column. We will always increase it, something like that. So that backward compatibility issue is always maintained for platform components. So there is no impact to the end user experience. It will continue to work seamlessly for them. There is also support for upgrading from the previous releases, previous to 9.0. But there is quite a few manual steps and some restrictions that you have. For example, you cannot restart the other servers, and there are quite a few manual steps that you have to take care of, but it is supported. Very important benefits of zero downtime upgrade is, naturally, there is no downtime in production. So you upgrade one server at a time and your other servers continue to function seamlessly. So the end user applications are always available. They can continue to work everything as they need. Since it is an in-place upgrade, there is no staging, so there is no Delta data migration. There is no clone of production scale staging environment. It's not at all needed. Everything is happening in production itself. One of the important things, which is, what if my upgrade fails? And that's the biggest fear that everyone has. And in that case, we also have installers now rolling back the system automatically to the previous version. So even before 9.1 SP4, a rollback was possible, but quite a few manual steps were needed. Now with the 9.1 SP4 installers themselves will roll back the system back to a previous version. And as I said, database changes are always additive. So all your other servers which are not yet upgraded, plus if at all there is a failed server which got rolled back to a previous version, they will still continue to seamlessly function. And the operations may continue in the mixed server version mode. So these are some of the important benefits. Now the actual process itself. How do you perform the upgrade? So this is a preferred way by which you perform a zero downtime upgrade in production. So you normally will start with a mid-tier, and the simple reason is it is very fast and it is quick to upgrade. You may have already performed upgrades of mid-tier cluster in a zero downtime fashion. It is simply rolling upgrades that you have. For that, you need to make sure that your mid-tier is configured in a cluster so that web servers like a Tomcat or any other web server you may be using is configured properly for session failover. So that when a mid-tier goes down for upgrade, any live user sessions that it may be serving will automatically transparently fail over to another mid-tier in the cluster, and user requests will still be served. So once your mid-tier cluster is upgraded to the newer version 9.1 SP4, then you move on into upgrade of your server group. You first start with your primary server or the admin server. Now it may be possible that you do not have a big server group and you may be using your admin server for end user requests as well. In which case, if you believe that the server being upgraded is taking it down for upgrade is going to cause load issues or performance issues for end user, you may decide to add one more server temporarily while the upgrade goes on in parallel. Or you may decide some other changes at the load balancer level or any similar preparation that you may want to do of your server group. So that's the step we are talking about. Once you're ready for your primary to be upgraded, you will first upgrade AR server using standard AR SuiteKit installer. There is no other prerequisite. Everything is taken care of, automated. Once your AR server is upgraded, you use your standard Atrium CMDB installer to upgrade Atrium CMDB on the same primary server. After that, you use the standard Atrium Integrator server installer to upgrade AI on that box. Once all these three are successful, and we want all of them to be at the same version, then the reconciled package that you would have prepared from your dev or QA, you apply that reconciled package here so that your customizations are also automatically imported and available in your server. Once this is done, you start going to your secondary servers. So once the reconciliation is done, you may want to bring back your admin server back behind the load balancer, and then you start to your first secondary server. And then again, if you need to perform any server group preparation, load balancer changes, you may do it here. Then you perform a AR server upgrade, CMDB upgrade, AI upgrade, all for the secondary server. And this time there is, on the secondary servers, there is no reconciled package step. So you just move on to the next secondary. And you repeat this entire process till all of your secondaries are upgraded. So once everything got upgraded, your zero downtime upgrade process is done. And everyone is still happily serving your end user traffic. Now, what happens in case of a failure? So assume that on your primary, your upgrade installer already upgraded, made changes to the database, imported some dev files, already brought in new binaries and so on. But at some point in time, it failed one of the critical dev file for some reason, because of some illegal customization you may have, or any other reason that you might have. So at that time, if it fails, all you need to do is you need to fix that issue. But before that, the upgrade installer itself has taken care of rolling back the binaries to previous version. So at this time, when installer detects there is a failure, it will stop the services, it will roll back the binaries which it has backed up at the start of upgrade automatically, and it will bring up the server with old binaries. So at this time, your server will be running, and then it will allow you to access it via mid-tier or any other client, and where you can find out what are the issues. So you fix the issues and then you rerun the same installer again to restart the upgrade. Now all this has been taken care in the installer, and there is no external utility or external program that you need to do for this. So similar cases for CMDB as well as AI. But remember, since we always want AR server, CMDB and AI on the same version, any failure which is caused in CMDB or AI will roll back AI, CMDB as well as AR server binaries. We do not roll back anything in the database in any of these cases except for some of the versions in our metadata tables, because live data is still coming in into the database, so we cannot roll back the database itself. It's only some of the version related metadata attributes which we roll back. So any failure in CMDB AI will roll back the binaries of all three right up to the AR server. So once you fix that issue, you have to restart upgrade again from AR. So then you upgrade AR, upgrade CMDB, upgrade Atrium Integrator, and you repeat this cycle till everything got upgraded. And that's how you upgrade your server group. I've just recaptured that into a summary into this slide. So step one is to upgrade mid-tier cluster in a zero downtime fashion. You naturally have to have a proper mid-tier cluster and seamless failover configured so that users do not see any downtime or they do not need to relog in. Then you prepare your server group for upgrade, make any load balancer changes, or you may need to add extra servers if you want to scale it. Then you also stop any traffic coming to the primary. Here you also make sure that any integrations you may have, backend integrations, they are also pointing to a load balancer, not a specific server. Otherwise, you may face a downtime in that particular service. So once you have stopped traffic, you perform an upgrade of AR, Atrium SIMDB, and then AI. And then in primary, you also apply reconciled package or any customizations you may have exported from your dev QA. You import them into the product, and then you perform upgrade of AR, Atrium, and AI on the secondary servers one by one. Now what's new in 9.1 SP4? So as I said, we have been delivering zero downtime platform upgrade since version 9.0 SP1, but there have been quite a few manual steps before as well as after upgrade. So we have taken care of all those steps and we have automated all of them. So there is no requirement of you going and modifying anything before or after upgrade. You can simply use the regular installers that have been shipped and perform a zero downtime upgrade. We have also taken care of automatic rollback of AR, CMDB, and AI, mostly binaries, but also some metadata versions to the previous base version just in case of any failure. And you can also restart those installers once the rollback is complete, and that is also taken care of by the installer. There is also a utility for manual rollback which ships along with all the installers, just in case the installer was not able to perform an automatic rollback. That could be because the installer itself crashed, your machine went down, or whatever could happen, and it could not automatically roll back. Then there is a utility for manual rollback. Whichever installer failed, you can simply launch the utility from that installer folder and it will roll back the system for you, after which you can restart your upgrade after fixing the issues. And importantly, we have also hardened the operations in a mixed server version mode. We have made sure that if you have a bigger server group, then the chances of you having more servers with a newer version and some servers with an older version, it's a more likely chance. At this time, your load balancer could still be sending requests to different servers in different versions. Your database still shared, it still is upgraded. So since it is all backward compatible, we have made sure the operations will still continue to work for your end users. The steps that we had to make you do before 9.1 SP4, where you had to explicitly make some changes in the ranking form. We do not want some of the operations to fail over during upgrade. For example, we want your admin server to remain admin forever. Otherwise, your imports that are being done during the installer are not going to work fine. So to ensure that, we have automated all this process, which we had to make you do. So no more going to the ranking form and making changes yourselves. We make the changes as part of the installer itself, and this is done by something called as an upgrade mode. So server understands what is an upgrade mode and installer sets the upgrade mode for that server. So server takes care of fixing the rankings. There is also a set of post zero downtime upgrade steps. So as I have been saying, we have maintained backward compatibility for all our changes since 9.0. There are still certain things which we want to make change, but they are not backward compatible, but they will provide a benefit to the system. Things like creation of a unique index on FT pending table. We want to do it, but if we create it during upgrade, the older servers will start failing. So we cannot do it during the upgrades process itself. Similarly, in 9.1, we changed our user password encryption algorithm from MD5 to SHA-256. So we do not want, unless and until every server is above 9.1, we do not want this switch to happen. So all these were earlier achieved by means of running a utility post upgrade or making some configuration changes or asking you to explicitly remove certain forms, etc. So that is no longer needed. Now we have introduced a mechanism in server itself by which a server will be able to detect if my entire server group got upgraded to a newer version or not. And for that we have introduced new version columns in ranking form. So an admin server will keep on watching the ranking form and the versions for every server. But it's possible that there may be some servers which are phantom. By phantom server, I mean in a ranking form, there is a server which is there, but it has never come up for more than 48 hours. So we treat such a server as a phantom server. That means maybe it was added sometime for scaling or some load balancing, etc., but it is no longer there. So we treat that server to be phantom, and then if everything else got upgraded successfully to 9.1 SP4, we treat server group upgrade to be complete. And once it is done, all these steps, which is creation of a unique index, switching the algorithm, and removing any unused metadata, that is all taken care of by the server itself as part of the automation. So that's all that I had to share. Here are some extra references that I would like you to go through. It's all docs.bmc.com pages. Performing zero downtime upgrade itself, as I said, we have been giving this feature from 9.0 SP1, so you will even find these documents for an older version, and there are general guidelines. You can also look for some tips and tricks in these documents to make sure you have a successful upgrade. Please do feel free to talk about your upgrade experience. We invite you to try out this feature in your dev, in your production, and do provide us the feedback. I'm happy to share that some of our customers have already tried zero downtime upgrade in their different environments, including production, even with the earlier versions, 9.1 SP2 as well as 9.1 SP3, and we have got very positive feedback of this feature. So please do that, and do share your feedback with us. In case you have more queries, please feel free to talk about it in communities, talk to your support teams. And that's all that I have to cover today. Thank you very much.